Hello, hello. My name is Shiona Drummer, and I serve as a personalized learning director and instructional technology specialist for Twiggs County Public Schools. Today, I'm excited to share with you all Google Calendar. And as you can see, I have my calendar pulled up. So let's just check on how I got here. So if you go into your Waffle, which is this app launcher here, and you look for your icons for your different apps. I just selected calendar and it opened here. And of course, with your apps for your icons, your icons for your apps rather, you just take it and readjust as you see fit. So again, if Gmail is the number one thing that you use within your app launcher, and then maybe Google Meet, and then let's find Google Classroom. So you can arrange it in that order or rearrange as you see fit. So I am here within my Google Calendar, and let's just talk about some things that you can do here. So your Google Calendar is a wonderful way for you to set appointments with your learners, your students, maybe to look at their data tracking sheets or to discuss goals for the 9 weeks or celebrate accomplishments or look at things that they may need to work on a little bit more. So some conferencing time. It's a great way for your learners to communicate with you so they can email you, of course. They can also, if you allow them to, set an appointment on your calendar for maybe 15 minutes to do individual conference with you. So just ways to communicate with your learners and other people, of course. So when you're in your Google Classroom, the default view is on month, but if you want to change that, you come right over here to this option. You can put it on the day, a week long. Like I said, we're already on the month. You can look at the year. Okay, that's how the view will look. And you can also have it for 4 days. You can schedule, you can look at the schedule that you have. So things of that nature. So I'm going to take it back to the month view. Here we are. And I'm looking ahead to next month to some things that are already on my calendar. And keeping in mind that this week is our spring break. Okay, so if you have an event that you want to create within your Google Calendar, you can definitely come over here to the Create button. And then on that drop down menu there, you can decide if you want to create an event, if you want to have focus time so that you can work on things that need to be accomplished. If you want to set this as out of office, so if someone emails you or is looking for you, then they know you're not going to be there on that particular day. You can set your working location. So if you'll be working remotely or from a different environment, like if you'll be at the middle high school versus at central office, you can do that. And then you can set tasks for yourself to complete. So kind of like a to-do list. And then you can also have an appointment schedule. Or you can come in. I'll go ahead to April 10th. Just click within the box where the date is, and you can create your own event here. So I am just going to say, all right, so let's say that I want to have time to plan for the personalized learning session that we're going to have together. So I can have this as a either event, out of office. I can set my work location or a task. I'm going to leave this as an event only because I want to have it on my calendar to pop up and remind me that I need time to do this. So I'm going to leave it here for the date. I can add a time in the tagline here. I'll say at 2 p.m. And what you'll find is that if I were to click off of this, which I will, I hit save, you'll see it has right here 2 p.m. because it read on the line here what I'd already typed. So I'm going to go back in and edit. So I had it start at 2. The default is to set for an hour. So if you want to change that, all you do is you come right here to the time that's highlighted in this box. You click on it and you can change it however you see fit. Okay. I'll leave it at 1 hour. So now we get down to the details of the event. If I wanted to add Google Meet conferencing, let's say that I was going to plan, but I was going to plan with someone else. I can add Google Meet conferencing here, and then they'll get a Google Meet code. And the way that they'll get it is that I'm going to actually add them over here on your right as a guest. So let's say that I'm going to do some personalized learning planning, and let's say I'm going to do it with, so I'm going to do it with Miss Boston, okay? And so if I want to add anyone else, of course, I would do it here as well. And I have permissions here for my guests. So they can modify the event if it is checked. The default is for it not to be checked, so they cannot modify the event that I've created. They can invite others and see the guest list though. And I don't mind that, so I'll leave those checked. But let's say I did not want Miss Boston to be able to invite anyone else, I would just check off of that. All right, moving right along, I can add notifications. So I have mine set to 13 minutes. That's just a personal preference of mine, but you can have it set all the way down to 1 minute beforehand. And you can have more notifications than one. So if you want a 10-minute notification, then a 3-minute, and maybe the minute before, so you know you're signed on, make sure everything's good to go, you can do that. Just click on add notification as many times as you see fit. All right. So down here, you'll see which calendar that this is posting to. So it's posting to my personal calendar. And if you have more than one calendar, you can toggle between the two or however many you may have. I'm going to leave it on my personal. I have it color coded. This is the color that I prefer. It will either be this one or the pink. And so I've chosen to go with this beautiful green color. But if I chose to change the color, it would be just a simple click. And I can add a label to say something like PL. Let's capitalize that. And it's visible right now, but I can hide it. So I'll leave it visible. Save. And of course, I'm going to change this right back to green. And when you drop down, the default visibility is what I'm going to leave it on, but I can make it public or private. It also will show me it's busy at that time so that no one else would be able to schedule anything, or hopefully they wouldn't schedule anything on my calendar at that time. I can add a description where I just would tell Mrs. Boston that maybe that I'm looking forward to meeting with you about personalized learning. And then of course, I could be more descriptive than that. I could also attach information. If there was something I wanted her to see specifically before we meet or while we meet, I would attach it here. And the same different types of ways that you can manipulate your font in a Word document or a Google Doc, you have those options here too. So it's pretty neat. So the next thing I would do is if there are any other modifications that I'd like to make to this particular event, I will go ahead and save them. And it's going to ask, do you want to send invitations to the people who you've included as, you know, your guests? Do you want it to go to their calendar? And I'm going to say yes. Sorry, Miss Boston. All right. And so now you can see it's here. Now let's say that there was a meeting that was scheduled. We'll use the same with Mrs. Boston. And we had scheduled for the 10th, but the 10th will no longer work. So now if I wanted to reschedule with Mrs. Boston, it's simple. I would just click on the event and I'm going to move it to the 20th. And then it's going to ask, okay, so would you like to send an update email to everyone who you've invited to come on the 10th, that it's now, you know, it's going to be on the 20th. And I want to say send it. And you'll see it's populated here. So it left from the 10th and now it's here. All right. Quick and simple. So let me show you a couple other things that you might find interesting and helpful. So let's say you wanted to look at your schedule for just a couple of days at a time. So let's look at let's start on Monday, the 17th. So let's say I want to look at the week of the 17th only. I could come up here and click on the option to look at the monthly view, but I can take it to the week. All right. And now I'm on the weekly view, and I do have mine set up in my settings here. I have mine set to go Sunday through Saturday, but you can change it. If you want Monday to show as the first day of your work week, you can do that too. And again, that's here in your settings menu. But since now I have it set on the weekly option, you just toggle through and you'll see just a week at a glance, essentially. But another way you could have done that, I'll set it back to month. Another way you could have done that would be just to come over here on the left-hand side of your screen, click on the first date that you're interested in reviewing, and just click and drag. Yes. Just click and drag it to the last date that you're interested in viewing. And so now Google Calendar will just give you a flash of that. You'll just see those dates and the different things that you have scheduled for them. Okay, so if you have that done, then it shows you here, it's a 5-day interval. If you don't like that one, you want to do 4 days, they do actually offer that as an option in the drop-down menu. And again, if there's something that you want to reschedule, same as with before, you just click it and drag it. All right, and there it is. So that event is now saved on Thursday the 20th instead of Wednesday the 19th. So if you would like to save your Google Calendar to your desktop essentially, or even to your taskbar, you could come up here to the ellipsis and go to More Tools, and then click on Create Shortcut. Now this will allow you to create a shortcut for your Google Calendar. If you check this box, what it will do is whenever you go to open it, it'll open it as a new window across the top of your screen. And if not, it'll just open from the from your desktop essentially. So it'll just show up on your screen there instead of it opening in a window up top with your other tabs that you may have open. All right, so where the other tabs are, the window is different from a tab, but it'll pop up. But you can hit create, and then it will send it to the designated place, and you'll be able to open from there. So once you have it saved to your desktop, you can just right click it and then click Pin to Taskbar. So it will show up at the bottom of your screen down here. Okay. All right, so just wanted to give you some information about Google Calendar. I do hope that you are using this with your learners, with your students. It is a wonderful way to communicate. And before I go, one more thing I want to share with you, and I will let you know that if you are in your email and there is an email that you have maybe been discussing a surprise event at the middle high school, and you want to create a meeting time so that everyone can discuss it, you can create that meeting directly from within your mailbox. So let's say that you are looking at an email from a coworker and you believe that, okay, it'll be good to go ahead and create an event. Okay, I'm in my email now. You just come up to the ellipses here. It'll say more. You click on that and go to create event. What Google is going to do, because it understands how simple it is to go ahead and plug in information for you, the title of the email is going to be the title of the meeting. If there is any times that have been discussed, Google will select one. But again, it's very simple to manipulate. Just click here. You can scroll up, down, whatever works best. Remember, the default is 1 hour for the meetings, but you can change that too. If there's a different time zone, click here. You can edit. I will not change it. I definitely want to keep it on Eastern. And let's say that the event needs to be all day. If you all are planning a surprise event and you know it's going to take a long time or a majority of the day, you could just check here and it will remove the time option because it'll be all day. What you definitely want to do is add a location. So you would just type in um, maybe right, Twiggs County High School, and Google understood where I was going with that and went ahead and populated it. And then again, you have your notification set. You can add more by clicking on add notification. And let's say you add one, you say, 13 minutes is enough and you want to get rid of it. You can remove that notification as well. Google will, for your discussion information where it says add description rather, information, the information that was within your email that you all were corresponding with each other will show up here. So pretty interesting. All right, let's click save. We're going to invite, and there it is. All right, well, thank you all so very much. I have enjoyed spending this time with you. And if there's anything I can do to help, please do let me know. Have a wonderful day. And again, we're generating excellence, one team, one goal.